Hello, welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to episode 3 of the minas show. And actually, I expected a lot less views. I've got about 12, 16 views. It's not a great deal in the scheme of things, but it's actually a lot more views. I expected 1 or 2 views for the minas show episode 2. So welcome to episode 3. The reason I'm doing this one so quickly after the other one is because I've just seen Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and I want to talk about it, and I also want to preview Doctor Who Episode 3, Season 11, Rosa. So let's talk about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So we were built up about this appearance from Jeff Goldblum. It was all very exciting. But then when people were reviewing the film, I was a bit disappointed because they basically said he's only in it at the beginning. But they didn't mention that we see him at the end again. And what he's saying is very important for the future of the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park franchise. So if we start at the end of the film, where basically Clone Girl releases the dinosaurs so they don't die. Look, that was predictable. We knew that was happening. But what it sets up is absolutely fantastic. Because no more will we have Jurassic World films where, people are just being chased on an island by dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are part of the new world. That is a terrific idea. I really liked that. I thought Chris Pratt was fantastic. Bryce Dallas Howard was also good. I have this thing about nepotism, about people making it through their parents, but I do like Bryce Dallas Howard, so she gets away with it for me. Basically, the vet, pointless. The dinosaur vet, she's pointless, arrogant, typical Hollywood female character who they call a strong female who actually isn't. And she was quite annoying, wasn't she? And pointless to me, although she did save Blue. So thanks for that. The guy who was with her, again, pointless. What was the point in him? I know he was a techie. But basically, I don't expect to see those two again. They didn't really work for me. But definitely, Bryce Dallas Howard's character and Chris Pratt work well together. If you're looking to watch a film about character development and characters with loads of personality, forget it. This film isn't about that. It's basically about Bryce Dallas Howard's character being duped into going back to the island and taking Chris Pratt's character with her. Now, I can't remember their character names, so we're just going to use their real names. It saves a lot of time because I'm not going to Google it. But I'm crap with names, by the way. But that's basically the essence of the film. So you've got this older guy who kind of created this aspect of Jurassic World with the original guy, Richard Attenborough guy from the original Jurassic Park movie, who owned the park and all of that. So that's an interesting aspect as well. Rafe Spall is in this. Rafe Spall is actually the son of Timothy Spall. And if you don't know him, Alfie the Same Pet, he's been in so many things. But he's a brilliant actor. But so is Rafe. Again, I'm talking about not liking nepotism, but I've got a lot of time for Rafe. He always has a charm to his performances because Rafe's actually a really, really charming guy, actually, as well as a charming actor. And I really liked his villain. I was disappointed in the end that the dinosaurs ripped him to shreds because I thought he did quite well. He really did convince me that he was a good guy at the beginning of the film. And I really, really liked that. But there is a commentary to this film. There's a commentary here about animals and the way we treat them and the brutality of humanity. And I think Jeff Goldblum at the beginning is talking about if we don't allow these creatures to die, we will be extinct. Well, you know what? Maybe we deserve to be extinct. Maybe they deserve to live and we don't. And apparently we're intelligent life and animals are not. But are we intelligent? We create all these things. We've created the internet. We've created technology. But that doesn't make us better than other life forms because ultimately this internet that we love and everything else is going to be our undoing anyway. Because one day when it doesn't work anymore, our oxygen is going to be gone because we're so used to it. We've gone too far in a lot of ways. So maybe animals deserve to live on this beautiful planet, and we don't. We abuse this planet, don't we? Animals don't. Animals, yeah, they'll kill each other to survive, but they won't kill each other out of brutality or hurt each other out of brutality like we do. So it's a great commentary for me, and I think that's the main aspect of this film. Now, Universal are doing really, really well. We know Comcast own Universal. Comcast are a really big deal right now because and it's really important with the dominance of Disney, because Comcast wouldn't allow that, well, they literally were stopping the Disney-Fox deal going through unless they could acquire Sky. That was their end game all the time. They didn't really care about 20th Century Fox, but they did want to acquire Sky. And in the end, I think if you talk to anyone in business, what happened was Comcast said, listen, let us have Sky and you can have Fox. And in the end, Disney had to cave. And I think it's really wonderful that there is competition, Warner Brothers, Universal now, but Comcast are a big threat going forward to Disney. And I think Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom made over $1 billion, very competitive. They're doing very well. They're greenlighting some fabulous projects, and I think it's a really great time if you're part of the Universal family. And I think us as moviegoers need competition. And I think if we don't get that competition, we're going to be in trouble as an audience, because we're just going to get this generic crap that Disney put out. But it's something else with Disney now as well. They've become very, very political. So we do need other studios who are focused, number one, on entertaining the audience. So I thought it was I thought Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was a really good film. Will I go back and watch it again and again? No. What's brilliant about this film is what it sets up. It sets up a future of dinosaurs and humanity living together. Now, I don't know in the next film, and obviously this is a franchise, there's going to be a next film, if we're going to be in a post-apocalyptic world full of dinosaurs and a few survivors. Obviously Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard have got to survive because of the star quality. But it'll be very interesting, and I am very, very excited about this franchise going forward, because, yes, this may have been a pretty generic film in places where literally they're just running away from dinosaurs, but as I say, there's a commentary about creation, how we create life, and obviously there's another thing here. Clone Girl, the kid who was cloned, I think she's going to play a very big part in the future of this franchise too. And she could even spin off. They could say that she's grown up quickly because she was a clone, rapid growth or whatever they want to say. They could give her something else as well. So there's potential here for a Jurassic World kind of other films as well in this universe. So I thought it was a very, very good idea from Colin Trevorrow. Now, Colin Trevorrow got a lot of blowback for this film, and this film was criticised in places a lot. But ultimately, I liked it. It's a good piece of cinema because it keeps you enthralled and entertained. And at the end of the day, whatever you say about it, oh, how did this happen? And this was stupid. How did they not die here? And all of that. But we do live in a generation where we pick apart everything. So I thought this could be a safe place within the Mick Minas show where we could talk positively about the movie. I liked it. I'm going to give it... recently, I'm giving everything about 7.5 out of 10, but I'm going to give it that. No, actually, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 for what it's set up. It's set, basically, it could have stayed in the same place and done the same things, movie upon movie upon movie. But what it's done is we're going to do something different now. We have actually created a proper Jurassic World in the real outer world. And that's fantastic. So, really liked it, actually, and I liked it a lot more. And this is why you should never listen to anybody else's opinion but your own about movies, books, or anything these days, because people just seem to think they know better, and sometimes they don't. They don't know better than the individual. It's up to everyone to watch a film and make their own minds about it. So Sunday night, I think just before 7 o'clock, episode 3, Doctor Who, season 11, Rosa. So what's going to happen in this episode? We don't know, because Chibbers literally doesn't allow anything to escape apart from those little flimsy promos. In a way, it's good. I'm not really a fan of spoilers, but I do get excited reading about them. And I'm not one of these people who's going to bite your head off if you post a spoiler. I think, with the internet now, if you don't want to know stuff about things, you shouldn't be on it. But anyway, a very important episode because it's going to be a kind of educational episode. Rosa Parks, I don't know much about her, to be honest, but I think she was one of the first female black women who made a stand and fought against depression and racism. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comment down below and let me know. But so I think it's great for kids to watch this and learn from it and learn something better than kind of our generation has. And maybe there'll be less hatred in the world if they're educated about these times and what people had to go through. But it doesn't mean we should suck the fun out of Doctor Who. Doctor Who should still be pacey, still be fun, still have a couple of gags, and still be this great adventure every week. It can be educational. It can be thought-provoking. There can be social commentary. That's great. That's fantastic. Nothing wrong with that at all, as long as they're fair on both sides of the commentary and it's still an entertaining show. I think that's all. I, as a Doctor Who fan, want it all. Yep, you can be educational, but entertain me as well. Otherwise, you're just going to bore me. Now, this is going to be very interesting because American audience were introduced to Doctor Who and really started coming to watch the show in their droves through Stephen Moffat and the way he was telling Doctor Who stories. I think they're the part of the fandom who actually loved the arcs. I didn't mind the arcs either, and I think arcs are kind of important for a season, or it just becomes drab. And there's a lot of things Chip has introduced in that second episode last week that could be deemed to be arcs. Some people reckon that Art Malik could be the next Master. Tell you what, if he's the next Master, I'm in. But who knows? We'll see. I still think mid-season he's going to twist it all around and we're going to be really surprised. But as I say, Doctor Who Season 11 so far is okay. It's good without it being, oh my God, this is amazing. Which is fine. It's only 2 episodes in. It's a slow move, and that's absolutely fine. So looking forward to Rosa. It'll be interesting what they do with it. As I say, there's going to be commentary here. There's going to be a social commentary here. I do think it's going to be a divisive episode for some Doctor Who fans, especially the long-running older ones. I think some may have a lot to say about it. I can't say anything until I've watched it. That's the only fair thing. And the ratings are going to be pivotal in the 3rd episode. We had over 10 million after all the iPlayer and everything for the premiere, which was brilliant. It only dropped to 7 million. They haven't counted on demand and all that yet. I mean, if it actually went up 3 million through those on demand and iPlayer views, that would be fantastic. But it just dropping in 7. It dropped from around, it dropped from 8 million to 7 million on live views for the 2nd episode. That's fantastic. There was always going to be a drop. That's life. That's how this industry works. Now, if episode 3 Rosa is able to freeze on 7 million, and if this show can stick with around 7 million, just under 7 million every week, that's fantastic. If it was to drop to about 5 million, that would be, basically, it's just kind of around what the Capaldi episodes were getting. I know sometimes Capaldi episodes were quite low, weren't they? 4.5 million, 3.5 million. So it was a really low time ratings-wise for the show. But the Moffat era was dropping and dropping and dropping slowly from the very beginning, to be honest with you. That's the fact of the matter. And we know that the premiere episode is the most watched Doctor Who episode ever now, which is fantastic. And a lot of people saying, yeah, it's beat Rose and all that. But just because it beat Rose, if you're a fan of the Eccleston era and the Russell T Davies era, it doesn't mean just because Jodie Whittaker's 11th Doctor first episode got more ratings than Eccleston's first episode, RTD's first episode, doesn't make it better. You can still watch those episodes and have a good time. So don't get triggered, because at the end of the day, it's only numbers. The only thing I care about the numbers is the more numbers we get, the more Doctor Who we get. It's a great character. It's a great show. And I want it to run as long as possible. So what do you think of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? What do you think about Doctor Who being more educational and being more thought-provoking and talking about historical events that really matter? Is it good? Is it bad? Should they just stick to running out the TARDIS, running around for 45 minutes, bit of an adventure, great CGI, and on to the next episode? Or is it good that they're doing this? I think it's good that they're doing this, as long as we're still entertained and there's still that fantasy element within it, and we can all have a good time and also learn something. Like, dislike, don't mind, please subscribe, tell other people to subscribe. Thank you very much.